Thank you very much. Mr. Balderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here this morning. Mr. Secretary, approximately 25% of my district in Ohio is rural.
Yes, sir. There you are.
For my constituents to access a quality education in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM is critical. Many of the job openings that cannot be filled in rural Ohio are STEM-focused. As Secretary of Energy, what are you doing this year, and what will be done in fiscal year 2020 to ensure that the Department's STEM outreach and engagement activities reach the rural communities like mine?
Yes, sir. One of the areas that we're focused is on the DOE's Office of Economic Impact and Diversity, and that program is created to expand the participation of individuals who historically may not have had the same opportunities. I can speak a little bit of historically to this. I grew up in a place, my high school, my school, grades 1 through 12 had 115 kids. I probably wouldn't be sitting here in front of you if I'd gone to a bigger school, because I could have learned how to use a slide rule and probably done a little better in organic chemistry, and I'd ended up being a veterinarian. Organic chemistry changed my life and made a pilot out of me. So anyway, enough of my personal travails. The point is that a lot of these rural communities haven't historically had access to some of the science, technology, engineering, and math programs that children really need to be successful, and this program is exactly focused on that. And Secretary, or I should say Undersecretary of Science, Paul DeBar, and our Chief Commercialization Officer are currently working with our national labs again and the University of Chicago to do a roundtable this summer to explore some pathways of continuing to harness these kids with this technology, and we're, I'm pretty excited. We got a program called Making Nuclear Cool Again at the department, where we're reaching out and helping to. Again, when I was going to college, being a nuclear engineer was a pretty cool thing, and it's lost a lot of its shine, if you will. So again, whether it's small modular reactors, whether it's the micro reactors we're talking about, bringing the nuclear energy interest back into that area and preparing young people to be the scientists and technicians that we're going to need. You're going to require these STEM programs, and rural America absolutely does not need to be overlooked any longer.
All right, thank you very much for that answer. My final question is, I'm honored to be the lead Republican co-sponsor of Congresswoman Stevens' bill, the American Manufacturing Leadership Act. The bill passed out of this committee last month and underscores my support for making strategic investments in advanced manufacturing R&D. Mr. Secretary, if this bipartisan legislation was enacted and the department had the ability to open an additional center of manufacturing innovation, what manufacturing challenges would you look to research?
Well, there's a host of areas that advanced manufacturing is making some housing, and you think about Secretary Carson actually had on the mall, I think within the last 30 days, some manufactured housing, and when we talked about, Mr. Baird, where I'm from, manufactured housing generally was on wheels. And that's not the case anymore. Because of our additive manufacturing processes that we have today, we're able to build some housing that is highly efficient, that is cheaper substantially than, so advanced manufacturing in places that you don't historically think about. Automotives, we're literally building a nuclear reactor and the parts for that nuclear reactor out of additive manufacturing. I mean, it's stunning the progress that's being made in that arena. So advanced manufacturing office is you know, obviously got our attention, and it is another of those priorities that we have.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Mr. Byer.